welcome to Quantum in Zimbabwe talk series. So this is a place where we gather as Zimbabweans mainly, but we also, bring people from the broader community in Africa and across the world to come and share their experiences, come and share their story, to chit chat about quantum tech and what we can do to move it forward or to build real opportunities through quantum. And we think it is nice to have people from the continent talking about this, sharing their experiences. It helps to inspire others who may want to go on a similar journey, and it helps everyone to move forward faster or to succeed faster instead of reinventing the wheel or struggling with things other people have mastered. So this is our laid back space where we just chit chat about quantum. We talk about tech development in the continent, how to move it forward. The idea is to just bring people together, share experiences, collaborate, exchange, and learn together, so that together as a community, we happen to move forward in an easy way. So today we are happy to have Shannon Mujera from Nairobi in Kenya joining us to move this discussion forward and share a story, and we are going to chit chat with her about the quantum tech scene in Kenya, what these guys are working on, why the quantum tech space in Nairobi is different from what we have in Harare, Zimbabwe, and what we can learn to also record similar success here. She's also going to tell us about opportunities and challenges in quantum in Africa, because she has been in this for quite a while now. And I met her at the Q-Skit Camp hackathon in South Africa. That was at Johannesburg in South Africa. And we had a good time, a really, really good time, where we, connected, worked very hard on the hackathon, but also had a lot of fun. And I won't forget the cool Swahili vibes that these guys shared at the after party. And those were memorable. We managed to dance around the fire and, share moments. And that has led us to keep together and work on quantum. We recently worked together with Shannon as well to move the OneQuantum Africa Summit forward. And we had a lot of support from Kenya, and we really appreciate it. So Shannon is not anybody new in the quantum tech space, and neither is she new to these initiatives of moving quantum forward in Africa. So we're really glad to have you on, Shannon, and take it forward. Let's hear your story, and we'll be interrupting and making this conversational as much as we can. And we hope you enjoy being with us today. Thanks.
Wow. Thank you so much, Barry, for that. Yeah, and for sure, I'm happy to be here and to be part of the community as well. So it's not gonna be more of a lecture. I also don't like a lecture if someone is speaking and then you're just listening. So it's gonna be more interactive and conversational. So that's why I'm even just so chilled, just wanting to learn and interact with each other. So I think even before I even begin, I'd like to get to know the audience first, if that's okay with all of you, just to get the feel of the audience, maybe to know your name, what you're currently doing, just something brief about yourself, so I can also know who I'm speaking to, because I'm sure you've already had almost everything about me. Farah has already introduced me, so maybe I can get to hear from the other audience as well, just briefly. Farah, hope that's okay.
Sure. That's okay. I should have it, but it's good that you also thought of doing it. It's actually the best way to start.
Okay, so maybe we can start with Esther, because she's the first one now here on my screen. So Esther, you can go ahead. If I can see your face, that would be nice.
Yeah. Wait, let's see. Can you see me?
We can't see you, Esther. The lighting there is interesting.
Yeah, it's poor. That's why I now keep it off nowadays. My name is Esther Mnakandafa, and I am an undergraduate student, and I'm studying mechanical engineering, and I'm a quantum enthusiast. And currently I'm aged 21, turning 22 soon. And yeah, we are part of Quantum in Zimbabwe, and we believe in the whole quantum, making people know more about quantum and teaching quantum. And that's why we are part of this initiative with Farah Majandu. and we've been getting mentorship from him, and we've been enjoying the journey so far. And yeah, through Quantum, I've gotten to connect with a lot of people, and yeah, like the resources and the community, it's so great. And yeah, I look forward to the journey and to knowing you and to hear what you have to say, since you've already been in the industry for so long. So yeah, basically that's it about me. I don't know if there's anything else, but that's me.
Nice. Nice
Yeah.
to meet you. Okay, apart from quantum, what else like generally do you like doing, you as a person?
Mm, if it's not reading, I love robotics, right? And I'm also into renewable energy. So I've been learning more about that. I love novels, especially the old ones and poetry. Like, and one of my favorite is Sherlock Holmes, like the one which is written in old English, not the current ones. So
Wow, so
yeah.
you're a linguist as well.
Yeah, and I love dancing. I love listening to music. So those are some of the things that I enjoy outside outside school.
Nice. I should be sending you a playlist. Huh? Here we have some really good songs, the classics.
Yeah, I would love that.
Okay, thank you, Esther.
Thank you.
Okay, next.
So that hi Tagura.
Yes, how are you?
Yeah,
So Shannon is looking for introductions that she just gets to know the people who are Paco.
Yes. My apologies, I cannot show my face because it's very cold here in Cape Town and I'm already in bed.
No worries,
Very
no
cold
worries.
and raining. So the bit of technology, I'm just using my cell phone and listening as well. So my name is Constantius Takura Mnagandafa, but I usually go by my middle name Takura, which means we have grown. It's Shona. I'm also from Zimbabwe, but I'm based in Cape Town, and I'm brother to Esther. But I usually call her by her middle name Tari as well. So, but I know she's well known as Esther in the quantum circles. So sometimes I get confused when I hear the name Esther because I'm not used to it. I mainly know Tari. So yeah, she's my sister who actually introduced me to quantum. But at the moment, I'm a software engineer, but I'm currently employed as a systems analyst at Pathcare Lab in Cape Town. I'm sure you also know we also have a branch in a site in Kenya as well. I'm sure you've heard about Pathcare Kenya.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So that's the company I'm working for. So I'm in the healthcare IT sector. So I also have some interest in this quantum, and I'm looking forward to learning from you since you've been in the industry for quite some time.
Nice. Thanks, Takura, for that. Good to know from
You're
you.
welcome.
So apart from tech, any other thing in your normal daily life?
Yeah, I'm someone who also enjoy studying, reading, and I recently completed my master's as well, and I'm busy applying what I learned in my master's at my workplace. So yeah, it's quite busy at the moment. But I'm someone who I also enjoy hiking and running, keeping fit and healthy.
Nice. Are you an instructor as well, or you just do it for your own?
Just for my own well-being.
Nice. Thanks
Yeah,
for that.
in that picture, that's my family. I've got I'm married and I've got two kids, a boy and a girl.
Oh, wow. They look nice. They're really cute.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you too. So maybe we can move on to the next person.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes.
All right. My name is Lorraine Majiri. I'm from Zimbabwe. I'm friends with Esther. I mean, I got to know of quantum because of Esther. We learned together 6 years in high school. So we've known each other since we had bald heads till we started growing hair. So since back in the day, I'm a third year, almost fourth in August, I'm starting, okay, hopefully I would start my 4th year. With the pandemic, things could shift, but all things being equal, I would be starting my 4th year in August. I'm studying information technology. At the moment, I'm an intern at a local power company. So the IT department is under maintenance. So basically what we do is just maintaining the computers, cleaning them, making sure the network is up and running, making sure the servers and routers are working, no IP address conflicts, stuff like that. That's what I spend the day doing. So it's mostly networking, and I have a very nice view of the lake and the demo from my office. So I also, enjoy that during the day. And then after hours, I'm into quantum. So I've just finished a course with Qubit by Qubit, which was an 8-month course in quantum computing, which I successfully completed. This coming week, I'll be a mentor with Kill Silver. So I'll be helping mentor some students with quantum, with a further quantum workshop that they'll be taking up. And hopefully the following week, I'll be going through Q training, where I'll be training to be a mentor for more quantum workshops. So, I believe there's no better way to learn than, teaching others. So that's why I'm also trying to make sure that, in Zimbabwe, we have quantum so that, teach others. And things are always nicer when you share them. If you have something and you don't share it with anyone, it's not so nice. It's like, when you live like an island. So at least if you have someone to talk about it with, it becomes nicer. So that's why we're trying to help build a broader community and, improve the way of life any way that quantum can. Outside that, I love music. I'm bad at dancing, so I like music that's a bit slow that I can sing along to. So that's the type of music I listen to. I'm learning guitar. So I did it a bit in high school, but I had stopped, but I'm also learning that. I like exercising. Right now, I don't really get much time because of the change of season. It's darker in the morning. I live in an area where there are lions, elephants, etc. So it's not as safe anymore, but I enjoy exercising and keeping fit. It gives you a good feeling and just, makes you a bit more confident. So I like that also. And so I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And, I'm always eager to. I just came from a women in tech conference, so it's always nice listening to other women. It's so encouraging and motivating. I'm sure you can say I can't stop smiling. It's the excitement. I mean, I tried, but I can't because I'm so excited to be here and to hear you speak. So thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Lorraine. Wow, that's fantastic. So you're doing some good work there. So Farai, maybe you can just close it up for us. I don't know if everyone knows you. You also tell us what you do other than tech. Is Farai around? Farai?
Yes, Shannon.
Yes. I was saying maybe you can close the introductions for us. You tell us briefly about yourself and also what you do outside quantum.
Okay, let me get that sorted so that I can take in the scene. I didn't think that I was going to need to quantum technologies. It is emerging out of stealth mode. And the idea is obviously to move quantum forward in the continent, because I did an MSc in experimental quantum physics. It was very lonely back then, which is why I so much remember when we came together as a community in Africa in 2019. So that was, a watershed moment for me. And I didn't want to miss that. So it made me move into community work to say, okay, if I don't want to miss the community in Africa, then what can I do? it means that I have to bring together the community in Africa and keep people engaged and, keep people connected and move this field forward. And beyond that, we also realize that businesses and stakeholders in Africa struggle to understand quantum tech, what it is initially. Then secondly, they don't even understand where it could play a role in their business processes. And we had to come up with a startup that helps them to understand the spectrum of quantum technologies that are out there. Then when they understand those, we also help them to look at their business processes and models to say, where can quantum come in? Where is there, the hidden value that they could be realizing? Where do we need quantum techniques for speed up? It could be to improve precision in terms of sensing. It could be to improve security of communication. It could be anything. So we look at the broad spectrum of quantum technologies and help companies figure out where they can apply those to achieve tangible benefits today in the current state of the technology. So we would partner them with the right partners in the ecosystem, or we can handhold them as they implement these solutions so that they can realize value quickly or fast. And yeah, we work with various stakeholders in the space to just try and unpack what quantum technologies are and how they can be implemented today and what's the best way to move them forward in terms of at an organizational level or at a national strategic level. Beyond that, I love music. As I think this is the 5th time I'm mentioning the issue of music. So yeah, I love music. I'm a listener. I love radio a lot. I'm not very good at watching movies and other things, unless if I'm watching documentaries. So I love music a lot. I listen to radio stations from different countries. So, I'm that kind of person who would sit down and say, okay, today I want to listen to a radio station from Fiji. Let me look for the best radio station in Fiji or the hottest or the most popular. Then I will listen to music from Fiji that day or that weekend. So I love listening to music from Africa. I usually follow through Ghana, Uganda, Burundi, the DRC, Nigeria. At the moment I'm trying a bit of Northern African music and all that. So yeah, I love music. I love outdoor life. I love traveling and discovering new places. I'm actually a Google, what do they call them? I'm a Google reviewer for Google Maps in such a way that when I travel, I used to share everything about the places that I visit to help other people as well discover new places. So yeah, I think without wasting much time, it a broader picture. That's who I am and that's what I do. So yeah, music and dancing. I love choreography. I shouldn't leave that out. So I actually watch these videos where people are dancing to different songs, and I love that. And I also think it's a very important way to keep fit, to exercise. So I'm one person who would dance following along the choreographers and sweat it out. That's how I exercise. If I'm not walking outside and just discovering places, then I'm at home dancing to music and just taking along. So yeah, that's me.
Wow, interesting stuff. Thanks, Farai. So I think now at least I know my audience and I know your kind of hobbies, what you like doing, and also maybe your extent and your knowledge also in the quantum space. That's interesting because actually the reason why I asked just to get to know you better and maybe what you like doing outside quantum. One thing I noticed, when someone asks you like, what do you like doing out other than the usual, like the usual topic here, we're here to talk about maybe quantum. Then Farah has mentioned about traveling, Lorraine about also music and exercising. Like how you actually mentioned those things, you mentioned them with a smile, yeah. So everyone was really happy when describing what they do other than the usual. Do I say, yeah, like other than the usual, you describe it with so much joy, so much happiness, and yeah, you really feel comfortable because it's something that really it really moves you, like it pushes, it's from your heart, if I can say that. And even from the way you describe quantum, yeah, for most of you, actually, it's like it's something that you believe in, and it's something that you're really passionate about, and you'd like to see it going forward. And actually, for me, like, let me just give a brief background of myself. So I'll just start. Okay, yeah, let me just start with basic introduction, as usual. So my name is Shannon. Shannon, others pronounce it as Shannon. So depending on where you learned your English, the pronunciation. So it's Shannon Mujera. Yeah, I'm based in Nairobi, Kenya, and I'm also Kenyan. Yeah, by birth. Yeah. So for me, after high school, I went to campus. I actually just cleared my campus last year. I pursued informatics and computer science at a campus known as university known as Strathmore University. It's one of the top universities here in Kenya. And during my time in school, I think that's where I got a lot of exposure. I got to experiment on a lot of stuff, and I even landed on quantum just somehow, like in my second, yeah, exactly in my second year. So I was very, and I still am very outgoing. So immediately I got into campus during my first year. I remember I was like all over the place. It was so exciting. Here, high school is usually 4 years. So immediately after high school, and I was in one of those strict boarding schools. Yeah, it's an all girls school. You have to just read and read. Like it was a complete like the how many months was it? Like 11 months of just being in school reading. So by the time you're getting out, you're like, oh Lord, thank you. The sigh of relief after high school. You can now finally go and enjoy life. What they told you is you'll enjoy life in campus. Huh? So you really cannot wait. Yeah. So right during my first year, that's in around, I think, July. Yes, I did. So, but after high school, I did some short courses. I did programming courses. Yeah, I did some programming courses immediately after high school, just to keep myself busy. I also did some community work. I'm also I also like giving back to the community and just seeing lives of people improve. So that's what preoccupied me during that time before I actually joined campus. Then after that, after joining campus, now during my first year, we had orientation, of course, and where the other club members, like club heads, now talk to the first years about the different clubs in the schools, what you can be able to benefit, and so on and so forth. Then I remember there was one particular one for the community outreach. It's more of like a program within the school. So every Saturday you'd actually just sign up. You go maybe to a prison, a children's home, and and just like give back. Either you either help in assisting washing dishes, cooking, and stuff like that. So I think from then is when I learned how to interact, network with people, and just to learn how basic communication skills, negotiation, persuasion skills. So like from there is when I started now to grow and enjoy just like being around people, being curious and wanting to go and learn more and more. So that continued. Then I was also really involved in leadership positions as well. So in my second year, is when I applied for a position to be like part of the leadership in the community outreach program, which I got. Then, like almost towards the second semester of my second year, is now when I got really active in terms of now the IT space, the tech space. So I would participate in hackathons. There's one we did for L'Oreal. It was more of a beauty contest, coming up with a solution to what was the challenge? I don't know, it was like make her beautiful or something of the sort. So it was about hairstyles. I remember we did like trying to, we were trying to make an app that could be able to change like African hairstyles. Because, right now, if you have like Snapchat or Instagram, you just have maybe like, for Africa, you wouldn't find like African hairstyles as an option, maybe just either blonde hair, straight, ponytail. So that's something that we were trying to work on. And I think from then on, when I just, from my participation from the different hackathons is when I got to view actually technology as a tool, as a tool. So I could see beyond the coding, beyond having to develop an app that's really cool. So it's just seeing and viewing, having that mentality that actually this technology is a tool, you can actually use it to solve um, problems. So my mindset changed from just having to do things because you have to do them really, but just seeing the bigger picture and knowing that whatever you have is a tool, but what's the end game of it? So now when you're talking about quantum, like quantum is really cool, it can process things way faster, like, and then so what, like, what is the end game of it all? So everything's really tied to solving a particular problem. And I think even from then on, that's how I got to now view technology. I got interested in these new emerging technologies like IoT. I even worked as an IoT lab engineer for almost a year. So I was doing a lot of things concurrently. I was studying, I was working part-time. Then I was also leading our IT club for our IT Students Association club during my second year. So just networking with people. I got to interact with a lot of people from Oracle, Google, Microsoft, these big companies, and just to learn from them on the experiences, how it is in the job market. And that really gave me a lot of exposure. And I just got curious. Then, so how I really landed on quantum, it's just because I was curious, because I was being told of this, how cool stuff, like how people are trying to, I think there was this unit, what was it called? Social informatics or something. Yeah, it was social informatics, like how to bridge, because technology is made for people and there's a way they can easily, so like there are two phases, how technology affects people. For instance, let's say when Facebook came, it gave a new way of advertisers to actually reach out to their final markets. And then there's also a way where people can impact technology, like they influence technology because they need to travel. So the creation now maybe of the aircraft. So it can be both two ways. So as a as now as a technologist, as an innovator, and as a quantum enthusiast, you have to actually get to a point where you understand you're not just why are you doing what you're doing, and what is the bigger picture, the end goal behind it. You can't just say, okay, fine, you're learning quantum and then it's really cool, it has this, it's the future. Yeah, so like you really have to get the bigger picture so that even when you're trying to advance it, when you're learning it, you know exactly what is the end in mind. And like from all of you, what you've told me, you have okay, I was still explaining, sorry, let me just jump back a bit. I was still explaining how I actually got to learn in quantum. So it was actually just one of my Google, it was literally a Google search. Yeah, for me, I'm very curious just by nature. I just like exploring. I'd be an explorer if I was not. If it was a career, okay, yeah, I'm still an explorer, but I would just do it full time because I'm really curious and I like finding out new stuff. So it was just more of like a Google search, because I think there's this, and I'm a person of ideas. I just like coming up with new busting ideas on how to solve problems. So like my mind is really fixated on, so this is a challenge I have. How can I be able to best solve it? And what is the best way I can actually solve it? So I think there was one I was doing on, what was it about? It was actually something to do with, yes, it was cryptography. There was one, because I'm also very interested in those algorithms. Like it was very fascinating to see how different cryptographic methods worked from way past and how they've actually changed from the RSA algorithms that are currently used in today. So I really find that such things very interesting. Then as I was just going around just researching on that, then I came across now how quantum can be a threat to the normal encryption systems that we currently have, we use in these normal classical computers. So I really got interested, and I did some more digging. I read about the qubits, how it can be both or one or zero at the same time, and here we just use normal bits. and how it can easily compromise the normal algorithms that we have. So I really got interested in knowing like what is this quantum technology, what is it all about, and if it has these capabilities, like what's going to happen in the near future. So actually, that's how I actually just landed on getting to know about quantum. Previously, I think I never really come across it, or if I had, it was just something like by passing. But now that was the first time I actually interacted with it through my research on what I was currently doing now, on my research on cryptographic systems and yeah, just the different methods of cryptography. That's how I actually landed on the first time I actually landed on quantum. So yeah, so the long moral story, to cut the long story short, the whole essence of me bringing that on board is to let you, like, I don't know maybe how the rest of you actually got to learn about quantum, but from what you actually like doing, yeah, so some of you like exercising, dancing, so you can be able to think on how quantum can be able to, is there a place for quantum in maybe you are coming up with, I don't know, they called training, those training manuals, videos, I don't like, you just try to piece together what the technology can be able to do for you in that particular space. If it's music, because I know all of you, all of us here, I think most of us love music. So can we get some virtual DJ using quantum? How fast can the music? So you know, if you approach it in terms of your passion, what you really like and you're interested in, you'll just find a way of bringing the technology and how to apply it, specifically targeting that very problem that you're trying to solve. Then after that is when I actually did a research paper on quantum resistant algorithms. So it was a very fascinating topic to me. Like, so if this is a new technology that's coming up, I think I'd read articles online saying it might take like about I don't know, some like to achieve complete quantum supremacy around like for commercial, even commercial quantum computers. So the back then, I think it was in 2018, they were saying by 2030, yeah, by 2030 they would be at least, or 2050 thereabout. So they'd given like a span of around 20 years for actually to achieve quantum supremacy. So I'd actually be reviewing such documents and just seeing how because it's like more of a danger to what we currently have, because it's a totally new different system, something totally different from what we are used to in this, using these classical computers. And yeah, so from then after just getting to know more about quantum computing and its applications, its use in like in cryptography and the threats it poses. So I got interested. I did a research paper on that, on how to actually build quantum resistant algorithms. Yeah, so in terms of cryptography, the ones which can actually be able to kind of like, you know, like being impregnated, they cannot be able to be penetrated by quantum, now the qubits now instead. So it was a very interesting, because it was very interesting to me. I found out a lot of stuff that I really think I wouldn't actually have known if I was just, you know, not curious enough and just willing to learn more beyond what I'd just seen online. So I went the extra mile. I did more research on it. I got to talk to, actually interacted with some professors from, because most of the research done on quantum, I've actually noticed there, most of the universities in America, that's where it's really well established, and that's where I got to maybe send a few emails to some professors, and I got some of the write-ups that, and some of the research papers they've been able to do, and some are published, but others are not, and I got to really learn much on that as well. Then after that, I got so that was in 20. Okay, that was in my second year. Then I think almost during my third year, I got there's the person from IBM. I think he's the university relations manager or something like this, or director. So they were looking for looking for curious young developers who are really outstanding in the areas of tech, who have contributed to the community, who have made some few progresses and developments in terms of the tech space and and stuff like that. So during that time, now they came to our school, of course, and then they approached the faculty. And that time was my name was so the school referred them to me, and I was also with my friend who, like, we were also together in doing all these community projects, going to hackathons, developing new stuff, coming up with new ideas. Then that's how we actually got connected to IBM. We were given some free courses like on design thinking, and also we were given access to some free cloud credits to just do some of our just to continue doing more research. And then we were presented with the opportunity for coming to the summit now in South Africa, the Quantum Summit. So that's how it eventually built, like from there in is when the momentum built up until finally until the Star Summit in South Africa. Yeah, so that's basically my story on how I began and how I actually got into quantum till then. Yeah, so basically just that. But before I even continue on the next part, maybe let me just throw in some icebreaker from maybe just what I've discussed previously, so that I can just to make sure that everyone is on board before I conclude on the next session. So, but just to summarize on my journey on how I began until I finally got into quantum, it's just to encourage all of us, because all of us, I think, we're still, every day there's something definitely new to learn. It's not like you know everything and you'll know everything. There's always something new you can learn from everyone and anyone at any day, anytime. So just to encourage all of us, it's not, even if something, because I've had like these friends of mine, they hear machine learning is a new thing, AI is a new thing. They're like, that's where the job market will be in the next 10, 30 years. Then all of them now go and start learning machine learning and stuff like that, so they can be employed. And then, yeah, they like, it's more like a security to them because it's the future. So let me get there. Okay, it's quite okay. Yeah, it's okay. That's okay. But the mindset that you go into, like, we know that quantum is definitely going to be the future. We all know the benefits of it. It's going to change how things work in terms of the processing speed, in terms of the capabilities in simulations and stuff like that. So it's going to be something totally new that will really boom. And us in the African continent, what is the mindset going to be? Are we going to be like, because we're the pioneers, and the benefit of being a pioneer is, like, you set the trend where when others are already coming, you're already at that particular destination. So it's us to see how we're going to start the trend. So are we going to be like, this is the future, we gotta learn, this is where jobs will be, we have to be secure, or are we the ones actually going to create the momentum, the pace out of it? And actually, I was just recently telling Farah, because we want to also grow the quantum community in Kenya as well. So it's about showing the people that we are the ones creating the future. You don't have to wait for someone outside the continent to bring for you. This is a classical like this is a quantum computer, now come, we have a company, come, you work for me. It's us now creating the future and making Africa go ahead, instead of now changing the whole narrative where we are the ones who we get things last after they've already been developed, but now just taking a different turn, ensuring we step up and we are the ones leading as others follow. If we all decide to come together having that mindset, and we see how we can be able to come up with new applications of the technology can have been started in maybe US, Europe, that's fine. But now you see all of us, we love different things. We can see, okay, I like music, I love dancing, choreography. How can quantum come up in this space? So what kind of simulations can I bring maybe in terms of dancing? And because that's something that's going to be new. And people, of course, they're not thinking of that right now. for sure. Definitely they're thinking of maybe chemistry, how to do, how to simulate the definitely in the next few years they'll definitely be successful. But what about you? What can you be able to do differently? And the thing that will actually may make you stand out, it will be if you do what you love, you get. If you're trying to simulate something that you're passionate about, you're interested in, like for me, that's how from cryptography I just landed in quantum, and I could see, hey, this is something that can actually be here, can really that really affects this. So that's how I got even curious, and I got even to dive more in it. So even when you are trying to build a community here in Africa and to tell others about quantum, you'll be like, you can just ask someone, what do you like doing? What like, okay, you like traveling. Okay, so quantum can do this. How can like you give them the bigger picture of it, not just like it's the future, like that's all but you have to be practical. Yeah, so that's the thing. Being practical is what will actually get people to even be more engaged, to even get more involved into the space, because they'll see this, it's something that will actually touch their lives, like it has a place in their lives. So anytime you're viewing any new technology, be it even this quantum, especially now, because this is just about quantum now, and it's definitely the future. Anytime you're viewing it, you see its practical applications in your life. Because if you keep it like some far away, kind of utopia thing, not very many people will be able to really want to come and join, because they really don't understand. Like even for that was good. You began the startup to show businesses maybe this is where they can be able to benefit from the quantum space, and the applications in their business and so on. So it makes it more relatable to them. So even when you're trying to grow the community, you just you relate it to the people, yeah, because not everyone is very technical minded. They understand what you tell them about quantum sensing and the communications. It will be like this and this. So then, like, it doesn't make sense. And the technology is for the people. It's for the people and by the people. So it's just for you to bring the technology to them in a way that they'll be able to relate to it. Yeah. So if people like dancing and someone likes eating, so you'll be like, you can actually order for your food. Like it's like you just blink, like when you blink, your food will be on the door. So that will something that will actually spark their interest, because they'll know, really. And then now they'll be really interested in knowing about quantum, and with time, of course, they'll ask you questions. They'll join the community. They'll have that drive to actually learn and go and look out for more and more, because they know it's going to be very practical in their day-to-day lives. So it's just more bringing it to the practicality of the people when you are trying to grow the community. Yes, I see I've spoken for long, and I wanted to say my icebreaker. So now back to my icebreaker. So maybe I can ask Lorraine. Yeah, I can ask Lorraine. So Lorraine, just from the brief discussion that we've had on from my journey, even how I got to get into quantum, and just generally building the community, and maybe our perspective as Africa as the frontiers, as the ones pioneering this technology. What is your take so far from that?
Well, I really like, the idea that you've mentioned, like the approach of, how to get people involved, like how we could use something that they like. It's something that you could make use of the approach that, when people hope that tech is in a way supposed to improve their lives. So at least if we present quantum in a way that, how it can make Africa a better country, help with maybe water shortages, electricity problems, maybe distribution of things, of medical things, like maybe the vaccine, maybe more people would be interested. And I guess if we have more people on board, we are able to build their community and make good use of it in helping improve Africa.
Fantastic, for sure. You've just taken the words right out of my mouth. That is for sure the best way to definitely approach it, and to bring it out from a point of you actually it's beneficial to them. So people would only be interested in something if you'd see it's beneficial to them, and that's how you'd actually gain influence and be able to get people on your side and more people involved in the quantum. Even this weekly meetings, you'd have like 30-40 people, and not even that's a few, even 500 plus, would be interested because they've seen, even partnering with different organizations. Different organizations, maybe what so like if you have different partners and they see the value of it, they'll definitely bring more people on board, and it will be easier to even grow the community to like many more people will be on board. So what about you, Farai? What is your take from the brief session we had?
Okay, thank you very much, Shannon. I think you made very valuable points on simplifying quantum and taking it to a practical level. So as the more we talk about it as in a detached way, as a field of study and as a that esoteric science, divorced from practicalities of everyday life, it is going to slow the adoption. So all our work should be to simplify and take quantum to the simplest levels, to levels where we can apply, in which areas we think that it is going to have immediate applications. What are we seeing in terms of developments in quantum tech? What are the use cases that we're seeing right now, where value is being realized, and highlight those and just create a real moment for quantum tech development so that people can relate. So I think that has been very important and it stood out for me.
Yeah, thank you, Farai. So the practicality bit of it. So definitely, people need to see like what's up, like what's the end game of it. So why should I be interested? Like in my daily life, what is going to be different from the normal? Yeah. So yeah, definitely. What about you, Esther?
Firstly, thank you so much. I really enjoyed. So from my side, I support what Farah and Lauren both said, because I've actually had that problem where you have difficulties, because when you're approaching people, the first question you're asked, what is quantum computing? And from this whole session, even from the way you started by asking us what we like and just understanding us. Yet I have also noticed that sometimes when someone asks what is quantum computing, like I give a rigid technical like response. So at least from this session, I learned, that sometimes, you have to understand the person you'll be communicating with and also show them the practicality part of it. And yeah, apart from that, I also learned to be curious and to ask questions. From your experience, because you're curious, you're asking, and you're very involved in different organizations. So yeah, I love that, and I'm going to implement it. So thank you so much.
Oh wow, thank you, Esther. That's really powerful. Interesting stuff. Yeah, definitely you should always remain curious, because if you just settle for what you won't know, like the information, they say ignorance is, what do they say? Ignorance is bliss. Somehow what you don't know doesn't hurt you, something of the sort. That's what some people say. Yeah, but if what you don't know, you're cheated out of. Yeah, so you can, there's that information that you know that would actually transform, your entire life, and your life can be transformed because you don't know. So you can imagine if you didn't know about quantum, we wouldn't even be here. So just getting that extra step on how, um, just having the drive to actually know more, ask questions, and see how to make it better. Having that mindset, like whatever you're using is a tool, but there's a bigger end game altogether. Yeah. Then
Thank you.
finally from Takura.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shannon, for your presentation. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, what is stood out mostly for me is, first of all, like we now have more women involved in quantum computing. Like during the days I went to school, things like physics, there are subjects which used to be only done by men. We would only find a few ladies doing it. But I'm actually impressed that it has gone beyond that. Like your background, for instance, is actually computer science and information systems, which I also studied. And they are actually branched into quantum, which is very good as well. Even Lorraine, her background is also IT as well, and she is also branched easily into quantum computing, which is very encouraging. So it actually shows that quantum is not really restricted to the mechanics and physics, mechanical engineering and physics. Even someone in computer science or information systems can easily go into it. So it's actually very encouraging. And I think many other people in other fields as well, which are not very technical, can easily go into this quantum computing. As long as they hear of your stories, learn about them, they'll actually see, it's not as rocket science as we thought it was. So it's actually very encouraging to see, yeah, people like yourself, especially women, and coming from computer science, which is not as challenging as physics, actually going into quantum computing. So it's actually very encouraging. And thank you for sharing your story.
Wow, thank you. Thank you as well. Thank you so much for your feedback. Because I can see because of time, but I think it was worth the session just trying to interact all of us. That was just basically a tip of the iceberg of the entire story, but because of time, I think we'll need to cut it short. So maybe I'll just give my closing remarks, and we'll hopefully meet next time again for maybe more in-depth when we have more time. Yeah, so thank you so much, all of you, for giving me time just to be here and to get to interact with you. I've really learned a lot, and I've also enjoyed speaking with all of you. So just to conclude on maybe just for the final remarks on quantum computing, because we know this is definitely, and just to give you a word of encouragement as you keep learning, keep growing, and just acquiring more knowledge on quantum and trying to build the community. I liked what Lauren said, like initially, you only, the best way to learn is actually by teaching others, just getting someone to, to take through and just let them know this is what's happening, this is how you do it, so that it even sticks more with you. So, and now what we're trying to do now as Quantum Africa, trying to build the community, we have to, and I think, Farai, we should not just only focus maybe on the technical aspect, maybe of the okay, just generally of the community members. So you can just try to have like an integration of both. Even when you're having the technical talk, you have to learn how to maybe approach people, how to, this kind of persuasion skills, how to, those are very critical skills that you'll need to learn even when you're as much as you might have the knowledge, you also need to know how to, because it's for the people, how to approach people, how to engage with them, have a conversation with different types of personalities. Because I was a student leader before, and I actually learned how to, to maneuver all kinds of situations, but that's maybe a story for another day. And just try to integrate some of these skills that we will actually need, apart that would actually fuel like quantum computing to its next level in Africa. Yes, it's from the new ones who, like, you got interested, someone introduced you to it, and you got the drive. So how can you also be able to influence another person, and so on and so forth? Yeah, so I think that will be it for now because of time. I hope maybe next time we can get to share a bit more. Yeah, but thank you so much for listening to me. Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. So over to you, Farai.
Thank you very much, Shannon, for doing this with us. I know it's a bit late for a weekend for you, but you still agreed through. Let me end by shining a bit of light on Chandrai, so that you also hear about Chandrai. So Shannon would like to know, Chandrai, about you, your background, what you're working on, and what you do when you're not doing quantum as well. So perhaps you could share that, and then we will end the meeting. Thanks for that.
hi guys, like my video refuses to share. I don't know why, but I'm, can I start by saying I'm a Zimbabwean? Because that's one of the most, I'm so proud of that. So, okay. So I'm a Zimbabwean who is based in Belgium. I'm working in quantum computing and sensing. Basically, I'm working in what is called a strategic business. They call it's a Dutch name, but they're called SBOs. So what we basically do is we are doing research for business purposes to sell whatever we're producing. So currently we're working on a chip that basically merges optical quantum bits with the electrical side of things. So, okay. The simplest way to say it is that we can read out an optical bit electronically. We can pick that information that is optical electrically. I don't know if I'm becoming too technical, but that's one of the projects that I'm involved in. That's why I came to Belgium. And I am also involved in other projects at CERN, where we are trying to, so like CERN in Geneva, in Switzerland, we are trying to image defects that have quantum properties. So one of the problems that we have with qubits is that the problem of decoherence. Like you can't keep information in a qubit for longer. So all the algorithms that are being developed so far, you are forced to compress everything in a very small space of time so that you can use your quantum computer before the signal dies out. So we are sort of trying to image and improve these defects. So that's at CERN. So basically, those are the main two projects that I'm involved in. I'm involved in other projects also, but those are the two main ones. So, so my background is I was born and raised in Zimbabwe. I'm, we call them ghetto youths in Zim. So I'm a ghetto youth. I grew up in the streets, and I went to South Africa sometime for my master. And when I got there, I got involved in a project that linked a futuristic idea of electrically controlling qubits. Like you get your diode or your transistor or whatever, and then that thing you can electrically drive a qubit. So that's how I ended up getting involved in those things. So I'm passionate about. So now I'm talking about what I don't do, what I do besides the quantum stuff and the physics stuff and the research. So I'm passionate about educating my people. I'm passionate about my native languages. I'm passionate about Shona and Ndebele. And I'm always arguing with people that one day I'm going to go back to Zimbabwe and teach science in Shona. And I think it's a crazy idea. But I think if we're going to get involved, if we're going to get the people back at home involved in this quantum idea, we're going to have to go back to them and talk to them in a language that they do understand. So it's something that I'm really passionate about. I've launched a platform recently that I'm going to register, and I'm going to go there, and I'm going to sort of foster that. I'm actually, okay, so now I'm announcing what I wanted to talk to you, all of you, about. I want to apply for a micro grant. I think we can do it together. You saw what was presented by that lady at OneQuantum Africa. What's her name, on the second day? He said you can apply for those grants. I think they're called micro grants or unitary grants.
Yeah, that was set up. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we can come together and apply for such a grant with that idea that was asked by someone who said, is it possible to apply for educating our people in our native languages? If it's not about the native languages, it can be about making it simpler for the everyday student who is studying in Uzumba, Maramba, Pungwe, in a high school, so we can go and talk to them and they can get an idea of what all the stuff is about. It can inspire them. If it can't get them involved, at least they will know what's going on out there. So yeah, let's talk about that later, about the application. Yeah.
Sure, that's a great one. Thanks for that. May we know what you do when you're not doing quantum? Any leisure activities you partake in? Do you dance? Do you sing? Like we had Mayenza on that the panel discussion. Mayenza is a rapper, and we wonder what Chandra does as a ghetto youth.
Obviously, I'm interested in the music. Like, whilst I don't produce music myself, I like the Killer T's of this world, the tar praisers, like all those people doing, like, especially the from the ghetto side. Yeah, like I like that music. Personally, well, I'm into travel. I like travel, but I like the thrill of extreme sports. So, like, I like to do dangerous things, basically, like sports that challenge you, the adrenaline type of stuff. That's me.
High speed driving and all those things.
All those things, yeah. That's my thing. Yeah.
Kayaking and all that stuff.
Yeah, and jet skiing. That's me.
Ah, sounds good, man. Thanks for that. Yes, Shannon, that's Chandra for you.
Interesting. I can see he's a very adventurous guy, and I think his idea is very interesting on teaching quantum in Shona.
Yeah, and we should try to see it in Swahili as well. I will talk to Chandra about the endeavors we have done in these language avenues, perhaps on a platform like this, where we discuss this. But it's really, really, important to realize that most of the barrier to education is in language. So most of the times, we lose it out already just because most of the questions that we have to answer are in English. So it's not our language. No matter how hard we try and get good at it, we never get to be that good in terms of understanding it at a very simple level. So it's important that if we want to pioneer discoveries, innovation, champion innovation, etc., we can't do it if we don't localize scientific knowledge, which is why China, Russia, into many other countries that are innovative, they will teach in their languages. And I think even where Chandra is in Switzerland, they will do it in their local language. Even you go to Germany, it's in their local language. And that is how you can build a strong foundation for scientific breakthroughs. They are going to come when we understand physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, and other subjects in our own languages, because you don't want to struggle understanding the concepts, but initially you also have to struggle understanding the language. So you're already adding a barrier. So yeah, I really understand it. And I would say to you, Sarah told me behind the scenes that she will be, ready to be the champion for such a project. Like she mentioned, there are champions at the Unitary Fund who, support these projects in-house. So she's willing to support any application that comes from Africa, and especially in terms of this one that she already is aware of. So there isn't any, there shouldn't be any barrier in terms of pursuing that. Even Shannon, if you wanted to pursue that as well for Kenya, it's something that you could consider as well, and there should be funding for that. And Sarah is willing to support, especially micro grant applications from Africa. This is the reason why they support our summit. It is because they beyond the guy from the TRC, whom she shared about, there hasn't been much in terms of applications from the continent in terms of moving quantum forward. So they are really, really eager to find something that they can support.
Nice. Definitely, I'll definitely look into that as well.
Sure. So anyway, thank you guys. I know it's weekend. You guys want to rest. It's been a long week. And also you guys, thank you for the summit, for the support. And, Chandra, I know you came through. I remember your question. It was when you were emphasizing during the panel discussion. Oh, it was actually during Sarah's presentation when you were talking about how, I think it was monopoly in research, something along those lines.
Yeah, like bureaucracy, like the way we have to sort of apply for everything. We have to do paperwork for everything. And when it's not institutionalized, like when it's a group of people like us, we don't restrict each other a lot. We can experiment as much as we can because there's no constitution or anything that limits us. So the challenge that I'm having at the moment is when I want to buy something, I have to go and organize a meeting of 6 people, and all the 6 have to agree. If someone has a question, I have to go back and then make them meet again after 2 weeks and then try again to convince them. So I felt like outside academia, outside institutions, we can move faster because we don't have a lot of restrictions. So that's what I was echoing.
Very, very important point. And I think this is the reason why we need communities like this, where we come together, no strings attached, and there are no restrictions, like you're saying, and people can engage behind the scenes. We can already identify and say, okay, I think I want to work with Shannon on this project. You guys can take it forward. There are no restrictions to say, no, you can't do this. There are procedures for this. And I think that's really an important point. Thanks for that. So yeah, really interesting that we ended up having, from the nuggets of wisdom from Shannon and what Chandra shared about his work, and it took us to the micro grants briefly. I think a lot of, beautiful knowledge has been exchanged already. And yes, let's take this forward. You guys feel free to also get in touch with each other directly and talk about things, find areas of common interest, and take things forward. That's the reason why we build these communities. They are not to make sure that Farah is the middleman for every score. No, there are some crosses that are going to go to other people without passing through me. All we want is to score. As long as our team is winning, we are all happy. So feel free to do that and take this forward. Really appreciate your time. Thanks, Shannon. Have a great evening. How do we say this in Swahili?
Usiku mwema.
Usiku mwema.
Yes. Have a good night. It's a good, yeah.
Sounds good. And please don't forget to share Swahili vibes from your playlist with Chandra. Chandra only knows, Zimdanzo. You should get a bit of, music from Kenya and danzo from your region. I think you will appreciate it as well.
Yeah, Sauti Sol, you can go check them out.
Yeah, I'm going to share that with him right away, and I guess it will be, a start of his request for more music from the Eastern region. So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Takura. And thank you, women in Quantum. Thank you, Lorraine, Tsitsi, and everybody else. It's really a pleasure when we do this. So yeah, all the best, and let's meet on other platforms. Let's meet on Wednesday. We've got a meeting on Wednesday with Professor Ahmed Yunus from Egypt. You don't want to miss that. Believe you me, the guy is full of wisdom. Studied in the UK, he's a quantum computer expert, built a quantum computing group at Alexandria University, and these guys have been in it for a long time, and he knows his stuff. I've had an opportunity to talk to him on one of our video casts. We haven't released it, and I know what I'm saying when I say don't miss it. He's really great at what he does, and they will share lessons about what they're doing in Egypt to build quantum. I think things that we can also learn from, and a lot more wisdom about how he started in the field back then and how he has seen the field evolving in Africa and what he thinks we need to do to take it forward. So it's a really important and interesting discussion, and I hope you guys can make it. And if you can't, it's okay. We're going to have a recording at some point that you will still be able to access at your pleasure. Otherwise, yeah, with that, thank you for the summit. Thank you for today. Thank you for the weekly meeting next week. And let's keep this going. Thanks.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.